Well, my name is Jeanette Radmer, and I am an external small business relationship manager for Washington Trust Bank. I just came back from Olympia, so I left banking for about 1 year. I went over to Olympia to advocate for Washington local and small businesses. I wanted to go find out what the dynamics were and what was at play, because I work so closely with business. So I've been part of the startup community for a while, and I like coming to this place and circling with the people that frequent this place because it keeps me cool, right? It keeps me on point with what's happening out there in the marketplace, and then also the cool technology and all that good stuff. So it's my happy place. And so it's kind of neat that I get to do this, because then I get to meet the other cool people that I'm looking at and doing come here. So thank you for attending today. Real quickly, how many of you, just by show of hands, are here, have frequented and worked within this space at Startup? Raise your hand. Is it cafe?
Coffee.
Coffee.
KY5.
K-O-F-I. Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, and then how many of you heard about this through the Journal of Business or like the online source? GSI? Oh, good. Good. Oh, good. So they're doing their job. That's good. Well, startup is part of that. So, okay. This is going to be interactive. This is my first speaking engagement since I came back. So, okay, I'm cool with getting feedback from you. So we're going to talk about the art of networking, or networking 101, or the ABCs of networking, whatever you want to talk about. How many of you are here because the idea of going into a room and having lunch with people freaks you out, not knowing what to do in the beginning or the end? Okay, that's good. Okay, perfect, yeah. You can raise them high, because I was there. How many of you are here because you're like, God, where do I go to hang out with great people? Okay, or the people that will help me do my business. Okay, good. So usually there's always a lot of that. So one of the things, you guys have this great little workbook that was actually edited, and then it probably needed to be edited a little bit more, and layout design needed to be fixed, but it is what it is. So you have this, but the networking know-how guide, I designed this on purpose. I thought it would be way better to cram it all on one page so you can fold it up and keep it in your car or in your purse. So actually, this was intentionally done this way because I kind of forget about stuff. So, but the guide is really designed to take notes on and throw away later or whatever it is that you do. I have a tendency to keep it in paper. So let's go ahead and, how many of you, do you guys feel comfortable enough to share what you hope to get out of this our time together today? Who wants to, don't all shout at once, right?
So I work in community colleges of Spokane,
Okay.
and I work in employment, so I help students find and get jobs.
Good.
The job. These are students with challenges, intellectual disabilities, health issues, or a whole broad range. But a lot of what I do has to do with networking, partner with businesses to find good fits for students.
Got it.
So that's
Perfect. Perfect. So you want to find out where the circles are and how to bring those conversations up. And,
right. And the networking things that we can do to make those partnerships with businesses is
got it. Thank you for sharing.
I'm a professional network marketer. I'm a Thrive promoter.
Okay.
This is my daughter, and I love anything networking. I learn something everywhere. I'm top rank of my company, so I have a very, very large team of people. So I always think you can learn something from everybody when it comes to networking. And it's just interesting what everybody else does and what everybody else is doing. So I'm here because she invited me, and I'm anxious to see what everybody, thank you. I just love this kind of stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, and my name's Diana. You were supposed to say that?
I love it. Although I remember stories, so if I see you on the street probably, I thought this was like a Nicaragua.
I know, it's right for her, right? Yeah, we're really proud, right?
I thought, wow, they make them pretty. That's great, well, welcome.
Thanks.
Was there, over here, did you ladies want to share where you're from, or Kofi?
All right, my name is Kofi Tuhaji. I was born and grew up in Togo, West Africa. State-wise, I'm from Texas. Don't let my accent fool you. I'm here for 3 reasons. The first one, I love to learn. I want to learn, and this is a great place to learn from people who, are out there fighting, not hiding, trying. Second, I own a clothing brand, and I know everyone here owns at least one t-shirt, and I need help. I want you to get the next one from me. It might not be the quality one because we don't have a huge collection of colors because we are starting. And it might not be the quality you want because we just started and we are not there yet. But let me, assure you of something. You'll be full of love and full of good intention. DUCO stands for greatness. We believe there is greatness in every single one of us. And, struggles help you dig it out.
Thank you for sharing this information.
Thank you.
You get to network tonight. Today we're going to talk about, this is good though, because you're kind of showing the example of what your commercial, your pitch. That's good. Yeah, you've been practicing, I can tell. That's good. You know what? And that is good. Because one thing I am hearing in here is that people learn by attending these events. And so do I, right? That's good. That's called being a gifted listener.
I'll share my generic, because I'm from Jubilant Hollister Steer, and I go to the GSI networking events, but I kind of like pop in, I don't want to go, so it's like more of the energy of, like be buoyant, or like just be like, yeah, I want to be here and make some connections, and then I just kind of go because I feel like I should, like is this what professionals do?
Right?
So to enjoy the process more.
Yeah, right? Because it can be daunting,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at. So people have a tendency to remember things in threes. I don't know if you guys know that. Our minds, we can go up to 7 digits, that's why phone numbers are 7 digits, but we remember things in threes. So we're going to just say networking, if you can remember these 3 things, and we'll delve into it a little bit more later, but the ABCs of networking. Networking is networking. Networking is not sales. They're 2 very fundamentally different things. Sales can take place at a networking environment, but networking is really designed to meet or meet, and hope to meet again. So just keep that in mind, although you can pull the conversation a little bit later or move it off to the side. So ABCs, attuning to your environment. Is it Amy? Did I get that right? So Amy, you talked a little bit about how you needed to figure out how to get in front of the right people. So attuning to your environment is actually kind of finding out the needs of the group that you're within, right? And how do you do that at a general networking event? Well, there are a few tips and we'll go into that. Buoyancy, and this is a critical one. The B is probably the more important than the A. B is buoyancy or your resiliency or your ability to bounce back. Because I'm going to say and assert, and I'm not saying that this is true, but at least this has been my experience. I want to say that a lot of what gets in people's way when they go to networking events is not so much the actual event, but the things that we tell ourselves when we're at these events about how the conversation is going, or not going to go, or the way that we look, or something that happened in the 3rd grade that's just popping up in our minds now. So seriously, I really think that is a very human, real barrier, and even as seasoned as I am, I grapple with it all the time. So wherever you are in your comfortability with networking, your ability to tune into the conversation you're having in your head about the conversation that you're actually having chatting with someone is really critical. It's really critical, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted by the end of the time together. So clarity, or C is clarity, and we will go into that, but it's to make something clear for yourself and or others. And so those are basically, in a nutshell, we'll get into that. So why, you guys have a limited amount of time, right? You guys say, okay, I have an hour, I have 2 hours, and I'm going to go out and network. And that's time that you're not building your product, that's time that maybe you're not spending in the office, checking emails, and so forth. And it's important that when you do go to these networking events, that you get, and you're able to deliver on the outcomes and the goals that you set for yourself, whatever those are, or maybe somebody else sets for you, depending on who you work for. It's real important that you go in with an outcome or an intention for what it is that you want to accomplish when you're at an event. So for example, mine here was to just, this is my first speaking engagement since I moved back to Spokane. And, mine was just to get reintegrated back through the Spokane, start of Spokane, and find out what's happening out there. And I want people to feel empowered and feel comfortable when I attend some of these things. So, and for some people, it's, I just need to get out. They want to feel comfortable. Is that you, Sarah?
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah's here.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yes. So you actually want to do that. Sorry, I see a face. I love to remember faces. Sarah and I used to work together.
Yes.
So,
Welcome back.
hey, thanks. I'm glad I'm here too. So where did I leave off? I don't know where I left off. Sorry, I hijacked there. So for some of you, your goal that you might set, or the intention that you might set, is just to get out, or to meet one new person because you're shy. Whatever that is, but that's still a goal and an outcome that you want to have for yourself. And it's a good thing to set that before going into one of these events. So down here is, why do you want to network? We all have our own reasons. Some of us like it. Some of us want to find people who want to buy our t-shirts or meet other people within a given community. Other people want to, attend so they can maybe have the connector, like one thing leads to another, and so forth. You guys may have your own reasonings for wanting to attend networking events. Sometimes it's looking for business, right? Or making those connections. Does anybody have anything, kind of a different view of networking that I'm maybe missing?
I attend events to kind of be wowed and see what's all out there. Even if it's not my industry, I'm just kind of blown away with what little industry Spokane has. So for me, it's kind of this being more part of the community and knowing what's happening.
Right. So as a means for education.
Yeah, it's general.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes you're going to represent your brand or your image. Other times you're there to educate or be educated. Other times you're there to sell something, and other times you're there to meet people that you might need to engage with or to become more acquainted. So that's the biggest thing. So we're gonna do a little activity. It's called Uncommon Commonalities, and I want you to pair off, or no, four off, quad off. I don't know what to call it. 4, 3, and 3. And I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes tops. And somebody, just briefly take notes. What I want you guys to be able to do is, between you, because obviously you guys don't necessarily know one another, I want you guys to find, during that 5 minutes, how many activities, or how many things you have in common that are uncommon. So not like, we're all wearing shoes today, or something. That's common. So you're looking for that uncommon. Like, I have an orange cat. Who else has an orange cat in here? Oh, look, no one. Okay. It's that uncommon. So you're trying to find the uncommon. So, hang on. Yeah, so this 4, 3, and 3. So, all right, on your mark, get set, go.
That's what's hard. Would you all have a try? I'm just saying kind of my weird thing. I'm trying to go to, like, what is it? I hired the kids to do that. We're all hiring us now. It's on Heritage. Yeah.
Okay.
It's newer.
You guys ready to go? All right, so how many?
It'd be nice to have a calculated list first.
Hello?
It's every Wednesday. And then figure out what at 6 p.m.
No, it's great, it's good, it's actually good. So did you guys actually find some uncommon commonalities? Okay, so how many, okay, so tell me, how many found 4? Right on, okay, how many found more than 4? Okay, cool. Okay, so really what this was about was to have you guys hone in on your, you guys hear me? Hone in on how you communicate with one another. What did you notice about yourselves from the time you started to the time that you ended doing that activity? Like, what did you notice about yourselves? What were you doing?
Thinking.
You were thinking, good.
We became more active thinkers as we were
More
speaking to each other.
It was easier to
In the
speak.
beginning, we were more shy and then.
Yeah. So what did you have to do to become more active in speaking?
Self-reflection, to say like, oh, what do I do that's really uncommon? Do you do that too? Listen.
Listen, right? And then you also have to ask, sounds like. Anything else that you noticed? Was it weird when you first started? Yeah. Right? Tell me, when you guys were in your groups, now this is interesting. So we have 3 guys and a gal. So tell me about this. This is really what I know. There's a dynamic, there's a shift, really.
She took the notes.
Of course she did. That's because she's Sarah. She's part of our talent recruitment. Yeah. Yeah.
It's because you're getting more in line with your speaker.
Oh, gosh.
So if you come back.
So you took the notes. Did you guys ask more questions, or was it more? How does this dynamic go?
Yeah, I mean, she's in recruitment, so she's already very engaging. So we'll
I mean, she's nosy, isn't she?
It's on the list.
And I showed up late, so that's a great
That's great.
networking skill right there.
Actually, sure, well, that's great. That's okay. Actually, there are some people that will subscribe to that. But if you're
Yeah.
late, that's a
Like
great
parties.
way. It's like you come in like who's the guy off of Seinfeld? George Kramer. Right. You come in and you could have done that. Coach is really good at theatrical. Well, I've worked with people that have done that.
So, like, yeah, I did it on purpose.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, especially, actually, there are some people that would say, but don't, and you can, especially when you do this. What did you notice? You've been doing this since 1998 at least,
95, yeah.
1995, 90s, right?
I
Anything you noticed?
generally or personally?
Both. There's generally speaking,
Once
and there's
upon a
what's
time, I
personally
would-
for you.
Yeah, once upon a time, I would have been mortified to be here.
Yeah.
I would not have said a word, and I might have stuck out the back. I'm not sure.
He
But
said he, once upon a time, he would have been mortified to be here and he would have stuck out the back. I don't know about you guys, but I have felt that way. I specifically remember where I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's, instead of taking anything, critiques or criticisms or facial expressions of people personally,
Yeah.
and a personal attack,
Right.
it's not, so I'm more comfortable, I guess.
Right on. So did you notice that there was maybe 1 or 2 talkers and a couple of listeners in each of your groups? Maybe some that were more talkative? I don't know. I mean, maybe that isn't true for you. Oftentimes there is, because as human beings, we have a tendency to either talk a lot more and a lot faster when we're nervous or on the spot, or we totally shut down. Those are extremes. Aren't we humans funny people? So, anything else that somebody is afraid to share but hasn't shared or should share? Okay, good. We don't all stand up now. This is very important. All right, so really the intention there was to get you guys talking to one another and find out more about, we're not our jobs, right? We would go to these events because we want to make connections, but we are not our jobs. And so I can't express that enough. It is what gives us our life, perhaps, and pays our bills, but it's not who we are. We are human beings. And so it's important that we know kind of what matters to us. One of the things that we do when one of the conversations starts, and you see that in your little guide, your one-pager, is forward. It's family, occupation, recreation, and what is it, desires or dreams. So people like to use that as their kind of an acronym for remembering how do I want to ask these questions. Some people don't like to talk about family. I'll just put that one out there. And a lot of times, better said, I like to say, so where are you from? And I actually, that is in my own, I wish I could there was, or some leadership guide. Probably some book I read, but it works really well. Where are you from? Because then it puts the ball in other people's court to say, I'm from a company, or I'm from Ohio, or I'm from Texas, but don't let the accent fool you. Yeah, see? I remember that. So that's one of the things, and it is on your sheet. But that's, you're tuning to your environment. That way you're listening to what others have to say. Attunement is nothing less and nothing more than establishing the fact that you're likable and trustworthy. So what sorts of things make you feel like you're likable, make you likable and trustworthy? Or what do you believe makes people likable and trustworthy?
The eye contact thing.
Smiles?
Smiles.
Smiles. Eye contact. What else makes the person likable and trustworthy?
Their authentic self, what they're trying to fit a mold.
Open, relaxed body language or
Open, relaxed body language. Authentically themselves. Say that again. Oh, being vulnerable? Yeah. Right. Yeah, right, where you like your real self show up.
Make the first move, be the person who loves something else.
Yeah, likable and trustworthy for sure. Usually we're not trying to get something from somebody, right? We're really just wanting them to feel comfortable and safe. So that's attuning to your environment. The other is maybe recognizing that you're in an environment where there's a bunch of people that are, maybe more quiet or something along those lines. So maybe you wouldn't want to be in their face with pom-poms. Or having empathy for another person. Yeah? Okay. So attuning is also being mindful of who's in front of you when you're talking to them. What I like to talk about, because I'm at networking events all the time, whether it's luncheons or business after hours and so forth, and nothing makes me more irritated than when I'm talking to somebody and they're like,
I'll just wait.
Yeah.
and I'm like, or another one you can talk to me. Okay, great, see ya. And then you go, right? Right? We don't mean to do that, but we do because we do come in with our goals and our objectives. But there are other ways that we can kind of pivot in those areas by taking somebody with us, or just saying, during this time frame, I'm not going to be looking for my phone, or even saying ahead of time, I am so glad Attuning is also asking questions, so you're gaining in your understanding. Attuning is recognizing that you talk a lot. I don't know if you can interrupt. You guys can interject at any time. So buoyancy, and just so you know, attuning and buoyancy and clarity, there are behavioral tips in here that accommodate for what I'm trying to get around here. What I'm trying to explain. So with buoyancy, and this is I think this is the biggest one, but maybe I think it's the biggest one because it's just mine. Buoyancy is your ability to be resilient when things don't go exactly the way that you want them to go. It's also what you say when you talk to yourself in your minds. It's also what you say to yourself when you have plans to go to the gym and you don't. Those kinds of things. Those things that and it really matters how you talk to yourself. So there are questions, and basically what it is, we call it the 3 Ps. Yeah, the 3 Ps. So what you want to do is actually get into this mode of self-reflection. If you make that a part of your day, I'm going to encourage you to do that, whether it's in networking or just a best practice as a day to kind of cap your day off. Spend some time in what went well today. Like, this is your conversation, what went well today? And what can I put into practice tomorrow? Because we don't need to be perfect, we just need to be better than we were from moment to moment. So the 3 P's is this personal? Meaning, was there something that you did or something like that, or is there something that you want to change about you? The key is it's what you say about yourself. So be nice. Don't talk to yourself the way you would, not talk to a child or a coworker or an employee. And then is this pervasive? Is it going to be happening all the time? Maybe you went to this networking event and you ran out the door screaming because it made you so uncomfortable. Is this going to happen all the time? No. So you want to ask yourself these questions. Is this really going to happen all the time? No, it just happened today. Okay, Jeanette, you go back in there and try it again. You have to be your own cheerleader. Don't hype yourself up, but ask yourself some honest questions. And then is this permanent? Am I completely going to not get this Networking 101 class organized in such a fashion that it makes sense? So keep asking yourself. Passionate. So yeah, personal, pervasive, and permanent. So the buoyancy part, the reflection actually gives you time to be present to your environment. The buoyancy part, the self-reflection, the recap how you end your day, or what you do before and after your networking events, or whatever it is that you're doing, that's going to help you disengage that a little bit when you're actually going in. Okay, and then the last one is clarity. We talked about that is to make something clear. It's being mindful of your elevator pitch. It's being mindful of who you're going to meet when you're there. It's recognizing that you're learning as much as you're delivering information and resources. And then also, it's also that reflection piece of, okay, what do I want to do next time when I attend one of these things? Okay, so let's go to, this is really my favorite page, because the idea is hopefully everybody will get a little something from this. There's certain things if you think of like before, during, and after. So before, I wasn't able to get a list, but before I came here, I wanted to find out how many people were going to be attending today. And then I had to remember, oh yeah, they're not all startup. A lot of them are coming from GSI, they're coming from a lot of different places, they hear about us differently and so forth. So in normal circumstance though, depending on what the event is, whether it's something by GSI or by some other entity, you know, we see it on Facebook or we see it in the Journal of Business and different things, or we see it in the Inlander. You want to kind of get an idea, you can usually call the same number that you are SVP on and find out, you know, who's going to be there. Depending on what it is that you're offering. So Galveston Skyline, they have display boards and things for trade shows. So who likely would be attending trade shows? Well, probably Hollister Steer would probably go to trade shows. And so you think about, you know, who's going to be there. Those are the kinds of events that you may want to look for. But you kind of get an idea of who you are targeting. We know that you want to see nurse practitioners. We have Adventures in Advertising that wants to see everybody. And the bigger the company, the better. We have the community colleges who would probably, well, I can think of a whole bunch for you, but there's things that you could do. Ladies, where are you from?
For coffee.
Coffee?
Thomas Hammer Coffee.
Yay! I love Thomas Hammer. Of course I do. Actually, it went over real well at Olympia. I had my I Drink at Work shirt.
I love
It was great when I was on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Not good.
I'm sensing a little sarcasm.
Actually, you know what? They probably should do it.
I like it. It went out.
No, but people loved it over there because it wasn't, they didn't know what it meant.
Sure.
So, yeah, well, good. Yeah, you're in my lobby. Every day I get to smell coffee. I know, I feel happy. Brianna's the gal there. She's getting ready to get married.
She's
Yeah, like I know the life story of all the people that work there.
she knows yours too. We'll get the.
Oh, that girl's from Olympia and she comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning. I do, I love the mornings. Okay, so before, you can research. You can even call Alan, tell him Jeanette sent you, Alan at the SBDC. If you said, hey, this is what I'm doing and I need to get in front of these circles, where should I look? How would I get in front of them? He might be able to help you, I can help you as well. So it's usually, because I've been doing this for so long.
What's the SBDC?
It's the Small Business Development Center. I just know because he has contacts across the industry. Inlander, Facebook, you can even Google it. If you have an idea of who you might need to get in front of, or who your competition is, you can type in and Google it. And they'll usually, if you say events where nurse practitioners hang out in Spokane, Washington, or large organizations headquartered in Spokane. I'm thinking Adventures in Advertising. I'm trying to think through your different ones. Thomas Hammer, you guys could be thinking grocery stores, you could be thinking, you know, facilities, you could be, I don't know who you're looking for.
Anybody who likes
All of you.
Yeah. I love coffee.
Meetups.
Meetups. Yeah.
Or Eventbrite.
Yeah, there's a ton. The Spokane Visitors and Convention Bureau. But mostly you can Google it and they'll be able to give you information. If you're one-on-one or a network level marketing, multi-level, right? Yeah. If you're in that, I mean, you can probably go just about anywhere because it is multi-level. So there's this theory that says the person that you do business with now, the person that you're whatever it is, selling something to, servicing, taking care of now, is going to introduce you to your next 10 customers or your next 10 clients. And I've gone back and forth over the years. This is my 23rd year in banking, minus 1 year for lobby efforts. And I think that holds to be, it holds true, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Were you going to say something? Oh, you can.
No,
Anybody can pop up at any time.
Yeah.
So I talk about the research. It really does matter because it's going to put you at ease and you can get an idea. And don't be afraid to call the facilitator and say, hey, who's going to be there? Or call somebody, if you see somebody you know, they will get it. And if they don't, I'd be really surprised. They'll get it if you were to say that. I just want to get an idea. And kudos to you if you're already in the practice of doing that. And then, what do you know about those who you would like to meet? So maybe you find out Thomas Hammer is going to be at your event. And you're like, yeah, it's going to be there.
The person or the business?
The business.
Okay.
I know that they're going to be there, and I want to figure out how we are going to have their coffee available to all of our customers in our area. So I want to find out who that is, or whatever, maybe they say, you know, the person who's facilitating it or arranging the meeting or whatever says that. Then, you know, you can tuck that away and just make the introduction. Hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm with Washington Trust Bank. I'm so glad to meet you. I recognize now is probably not a good time to talk, but I'm interested in getting your coffee in all of my branches. So do you mind if I call you or email you? You can put in contact with your person, maybe if they're not yet. So those are just a couple of the examples there. And then come prepared, name tag, business cards, a smile. So Mona Lisa, the picture, the photo, I like this story. That was created in 1510. Do you know why it's so popular? Right, Mona Lisa's smile, which is, if you look at it, you don't know if she's smiling or not. But for the time period, because they didn't smile in pictures in 1510. I mean, come on, they didn't take showers either, and they slept on hard beds and probably ate bugs. But she was kind of happy, and so that's what makes her so popular.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say, well, I think it was stolen.
Oh yeah, that was.
That whole thing, I thought that's pretty dope.
You're right, it was stolen from. Wasn't it recovered?
It was stolen and then recovered, and then that's kind of what, because it was in all the papers, so then it gained national and worldwide attention. That's kind of nice.
I think that happened during our lifetimes, but even before that, it was popular.
Oh.
Why would somebody want to steal it? I mean, that's why what made it so cool. Because she kind of had a smirk.
And if you see the face and you divide it into one, you see half of the face is smiling and half of the face is not.
I think that's probably what happens to me. I'm serious. I got this crooked face. Yeah, I had my pictures in yesterday. And so, yeah, that's funny. But serious, that's funny. That's exactly how it is. Interesting.
We need
There you
Mona
go.
Lisas in every Thomas Hammer coffee store.
Yeah.
The networking and just makes
There you
it
go.
better.
That's
So
right.
you can network from there.
So you can actually, program your own. Oh yeah, so one of my favorite things, I actually keep my contact information in my phone because a lot of people don't bring their business cards, which honestly, let me show you something. I take business cards seriously, and don't you think for 1 second, when you take those business cards, don't let them collect on your desk. Do something with them. One of my favorite things when I was in Olympia, I kept in contact with my Spokane people. I love to write letters. I'm so old school that way. I love to send cards. They give you a card, do something with it. I had one guy send it back to me as a luggage tag, but you could do something with it. And, I mean, you can take it, I suppose, but a lot of people don't. About 48% of people don't even follow up. Actually, it's probably more than that, but that's what I can find in the research. So let me show you something. Oh, don't laugh. So these are business cards. I take notes on them. And I do something with them. I know what these mean. I keep them in a plastic bag because I'm always in my car. This isn't every business card that I have. This is every card that I've since acquired since I moved back from Olympia. So, done a lot in 6 weeks. But I'm doing something with them. And of course, you can stack them and range, but maybe business cards aren't your thing. If you're more paperless, put it in your phone and hopefully it doesn't go into the abyss. But use your note functions. They're going to help you.
There's actually an app that you can scan business cards and then it goes directly in.
Yeah. Well, I try all those fancy things, and I just like the business cards myself. But whatever your system is, the big thing is, and some people like to give you 20 business cards, and some people don't do anything with them. If you know that to be true, that's fine. But figure out a methodology to follow where it's appropriate.
It's kind of Ziploc bag, I mean.
I know. This is what works for me. Yeah, this is what works for me. I take notes on them too, because sometimes the person may not be familiar, or the person is, but their entity there doesn't matter to you and your business, but they have some information that's going to help you do or be or connect you to somebody else. So whatever that is, know it up and then do something with it. Like whatever that looks like.
So, one of these things, I don't know, I heard advice that don't offer your business card unless it's asked, and it sounds like you have a different philosophy.
Well, right. I mean, you can do it that way if you want. I don't give mine to everybody. I ask for business cards, but that's my methodology for how I do something with the information. You certainly don't do that, but you want to not go without a business card. I mean, you want to know somebody to know how they can reach you. You don't have to do that with everybody. You don't have to do that with everybody at all. Right.
So say that you're going to these events, just trying to get to know people, and you exchange business cards with somebody, you don't really have anything that you are needing to say or you're going to get across, but you don't want to just have business cards on your desk. Do you have any suggestions for what would be a good thing to say, like via email, or how you said don't let it just sit? What would be your recommendations for reaching out?
It's always nice to make somebody just from me, thanks for what you did, or thanks for putting your card up if you ever need anything, or, I hope to see you at another event, or, if you can find something, only if you can find something authentic, right? If something stuck out with you about that week, by all means, acknowledge people for that. We are just stingy with our acknowledgments. We don't take the time. Don't be that person. It's not nice.
I use 2 pockets, so I put business cards that I'm not interested in my left pocket, and the ones that follow up in my right pocket.
Don't tell us what your method is.
I'm gonna remember that, right?
And then, don't look at which pocket I put your card into.
Maybe turn it into a luggage bag.
And then I don't remember people's names a lot or what either way, so I write a description of what they were wearing, or maybe like great smile or something on the card.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then you go into the left
That is
pocket.
good. When I said that's funny, I was thinking, the way I remember people, if I put that in writing.
Yeah, some of them know. It's only for me to see, yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah, so if I met somebody that I liked, but I don't, let's say I don't have a requisition, I don't really have a need to meet up with them or lunch or whatnot, but just enjoy their company. I go to a lot of networking events, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, not sure if you're interested. It's nice to have a wingman or a wing girl. It's a lot of fun.
It's an extension of kindness too, if you invite somebody that, maybe you see somebody here, obviously maybe you guys can provide each other with, some feedback after you both goes, how'd you do? Or maybe you see somebody, right? You can always do an introduction, a mutual introduction. You didn't say something? Oh, yeah.
You're helping me understand my networking because I go for education and it's about the 6 degrees. So I'm not looking per se for someone to contact or something for me, but I met a graphic designer and so then we're all on each other's web, and so I forget that that's just part of the network.
I love it. Personally, I like to do that. Right, we want to, granted, we can also do a gentle handoff, we may not be able to speak to somebody's abilities, but you can say, I don't remember that person's name, I do remember where I met her, and I can't speak to what they do, but I'm going to bet she may know where to go.
Exactly.
And people are just as appreciative of that. And that's really what networking is being able to either share who you are in an environment of likeness, or meet people who can lead you to the people that will want to buy whatever it is you're offering, or something along those lines. For some people, it's just, hey, I'm thinking about, maybe you're thinking about getting a job in the medical industry, and you've worked in financial institutions your whole life. You're like, I have no idea what's available, or even how I would marry those skills, and you want to do a tour to get an idea and see, are these people stuffy if I work there in that industry, or, is that you're doing. You know, we are in, I just got done reading an article on what is Amazon doing in the financial services industry. And it's always really appealing to me because I'm in the people business, and how I do that and the product that I deliver is through business loans, commercial lending. And so, but, and yes, people can get that online without ever really meeting anybody. But I still think, and my ship may sink because of it, I still think that people like to do business with people. That's what makes coffee shops so valuable. And why we need permission to be ourselves when we go to networking events, right? Like, we need somebody to tell us, hey, how's that conversation in your head about yourself going? You know, I mean, we need permission. And so I do think that there's a human touch. I don't know that that's ever going to go away. I don't know. I hope that it doesn't.
I think it's coming back.
I did some research during my master's program, and the research indicated actually the greater touch becomes and connection. That's what makes stories, having a good story about yourself. That's what makes stories so valuable. And your ability to tell a story. As a matter of fact, I mean, Gonzaga's Leadership Studies talks about the value of being able to tell your story. So I remember my first networking event. I must have been 22, and I think I was still in college, and I was invited to go to Whitworth's, I don't know, some CEO. I probably been there since then as an adult, but it probably just felt really bigger than it was when I was 22 years old. And I felt like this big, and I was concerned about, am I professional enough, am I polished enough, am I this, am I that, am I good enough, smart enough, well-dressed, perfect enough, do I know enough? Oh, it was so exhausting. And then I saw somebody about my age who obviously went to Whitworth, I went to Eastern, and I really worked there. But I remember it was like, oh, I remember getting in my car and driving back to work or wherever I was going and thinking, oh my gosh, why did I go there again? I was just nervous. And I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. You know, I just didn't feel, and I never want anybody to feel that way. I mean, I don't want people to feel that when they come. So I guess maybe when I was 22, I decided that's what I really want to do is make people feel comfortable or help people feel empowered when they go to some of these things. Clearly, I didn't know what audience I was in, so that hence the before game. And then during, okay, so let's go. We'll kind of go back to this. So during, make eye contact and smile, avoid gravitating to somebody you know. So a couple of things. One is when you walk into a room, let's say you're walking into this room at whatever networking event, maybe you're coming in that door. When we walk into a room, we actually, if you could, like 80% of people will walk to the right. So if you have tables in the middle, they'll walk to the right. It's like we automatically do that when we come into a room. So if you can tell yourself to go left, or perhaps me just saying this will help you guys to go left when you walk into a room. We do that. The other is we have a tendency to talk really fast or not talk at all. I'm a hijacker myself. Kind of. And then the other is we will, so we'll hijack this time and we'll take up other time. And then the other is we stay with what we're comfortable. So if we see a familiar face, we'll zero in and then we buddy up. Because usually as the room fills up, we're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go there. So if you can, invite them to come along to introduce yourself. You know, that's why pairs is always a really good way to go. Because you can defer to one another and then somehow there's more power, there's safety in numbers. Maybe it's because you have your head up. You know. Yeah, it's because I'm short, huh? Yeah, that's all right. What brings you to a particular event? You know, it's okay to share what you're there for. Hey, do you happen to know where I might find somebody who needs to buy t-shirts? Or do you know where I might be able to find somebody who is purchase logoed items from a local company that guarantees their work or has a one-time setup charge or whatever that is? Or do you know somebody who, might be a good fit for me in recruitment services or, for community colleges or I kind of remember. So it's okay to share that and ask for that. I mean, we're human beings, right? So as soon as, it's kind of like, you may have heard this statement, you tell or you teach people how to treat you by the way you interact with them. Well, that's like you asking for a grilled cheese sandwich and I give you a peanut butter cupcake. You gotta ask for what it is that you need and see and ask for help. It's okay to do that. It's really interesting. When I was in Olympia, it was such a great experience for me because I was now traveling in a different environment than what I was used to. I had some familiarity, but it wasn't financial services for sure. And I was in a city where I didn't have any friends or family. I did not know how to get around. I did not even, the grocery store was a totally different setup. I just remember feeling really vulnerable. What they cared about and the things that were important to Western Washington, there was some likeness to Eastern Washington. Like they had water issues and housing needs and all the things Spokane has, but it looks a little bit different over there. Certainly there was a lot more traffic. And so it was normal for people to get together later in the day. And I'd be like, how do you have any energy left? But they're accustomed to it. Like people on average spend about 30 hours in their car per week. How insane is that? Anyway, but I felt really vulnerable because, God, where am I going to go? And here I am in my downtime now, and I guess I'll go by myself. So, but I had to learn how to ask for things from people. And I really needed to get out of the conversation in my own head when I went to go do the things over there. Because that kind of gets in our way a lot of times. You guys probably know where your soft spots are and where you need to grow and develop, so I won't have you guys share that. But I'll tell you, I'm an outgoing person and it was challenging. It was good. I'm glad I did what I did. Okay, so what brings you to an event? Well, I'm here at this bar by myself because I don't have any friends and I want to be. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. Networking events, I go to those. Yes. Don't be afraid to make conversation. I tell people to arrive early because you get to set the tone for that meeting. Definitely do that, if you can. Or show up late and do the prayer. Right? I didn't know. I didn't know yet. You could totally pull it off.
Thanks.
I love it though. Seriously, I think I was just thinking, because that's what it made me think of. Actually, you didn't show up like that, but I thought, I might do that. If I'm ever late. Yeah, definitely. Probably don't walk to the front of the room and people might question your motives at that point. Yes, when people are uncomfortable or we ourselves, we have a tendency to overcompensate and come into the conversation. Guilty, right here. I'm doing that now, just interrupt me. I'm cool with that. Be prepared to answer what it is that you're doing while you're there. Maybe it's like, I have no clue. I just knew that I needed to get out and become a little bit more comfortable with hanging out with people I don't know. Maybe that's it. And I'll tell you, most people at an event are probably going to appreciate that.
everybody's probably been there at some point.
Yeah, that's why it's so cool when you do arrive early, because then you can make people feel at home. Actually, some people will think, oh my gosh, I know her, or I know him, because you were there. It's amazing. It is. And then also find out people's preferred method of contact and communication. I like to be texted because I'm in my car. I don't know if those two are together, but I like to be texted because then I don't have to listen to a long message, and I just get it. But I like emails too. I like to be responsive. So if I get an email and I'm not necessarily on my computer, but you guys all have your own. And so, and be okay with asking that. And then try and make it a rule if you do want to follow up with them. Or maybe they need you for something and you don't need them for anything. Remember, we are human beings, we're connected, that's why they call it networking. We're kind of tied to one another, that 6 degrees of separation. So perhaps, they want to get a hold of you because they believe that you can lead them to the information that they need to know. Maybe, you have, I'm trying to think. Somebody said to me, hey, I'm looking for coffee or whatever. Of course I'm going to walk, I know exactly where your office is. Walk over there or go to Brianna. Yeah. I was actually thinking about that today when I drove. I did drive over here from, but I haven't applied it. It's not so nice. Although I can do. Does anybody else have a best practice that they like to deploy or employ when they are at a networking event or after, or before, during, or after? Did you just scratch? Maybe it's you know what it is? I think it's the sun. Like the sun is coming in on the side of your face, and every time a car goes by, I'm thinking I see a shadow. Maybe I should just stand by it. So you have the right hand, left hand pockets. That's your best practice for maybe your file system at a networking event for business cards.
I'm really bad with names, so when I meet a person, I repeat their name to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just did that to Colton here.
Cool, so
Yeah.
you guys know each other.
Yeah.
I usually remember stories. I just tell you that right now. So you guys could say, it sounds like, or something like that. I know it comes to me, but I'm a story person myself. Or I'm a visual person. I can usually remember like what was happening around you. But we all have our different ways of remembering. Any best practices? You guys are like trade show people, right? So have you seen any cool things at networking events yourself?
I'm not too sure about that, but one thing I did think of actually when we're talking about how people normally go to the right in the room, is that's actually something that we talk about in our seminars that we put on. So where like in a trade show, usually when people go in, they always tend to go towards the right. And so that's like in the money spaces. It's like that's where you want to be in a trade show because people aren't exhausted by then and they still like excited about the new things. But then as soon as they like move around to the things to the left, they're tired and they don't want to talk to people anymore. And just,
Their bags full.
exactly, yeah.
That's very good. Thanks for sharing that information. Oh, I'm glad that's still a best practice. So, thank you.
We have parking meter issues.
Oh, you know what? So I think I'm going to own a city street by in the first 6 weeks of being back. Just each and every other avenue. I will come to you. What company does it? Please.
We work at the headquarters location.
Oh, you do? Oh, cool. Well, yeah, I welcome to you guys. You guys probably went out to meet one. Because I'm not going to choose, so you guys.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Okay, so listen, I am committed to making this better and improving. If you have feedback or would like to stay,
Network design.
or would like to offer that, or have input as to what you think will make it better, feel free to email me.
I'm thinking about doing the
Oh,